Everybody, crypto lovers and crypto enthusiasts, you're watching another episode of Transatlantic Crypto Podcast. And from European side here, it's me, Eugene, your CryptoEmcee from Belarus, and from Transatlantic side, from United States, my friend, Mr. Bryer, aka Pittsburgh HODLr. He's been in crypto space since 2009. He's the renowned author of Blockchain Project Renaissance. He's from Pittsburgh. He's broadcasting from Pittsburgh right now. And he's famous crypto enthusiast, also the economics fan, crypto lover, and so far and so on. So, my friends, great pleasure and honor to have you again on our show.
You always give me the best introductions. It's always a pleasure to come on with you. I appreciate it.
Great. So
how are you doing today?
Fine, thanks. Help you too. Let's start with the news. But first of all, I want to ask you: do you have snow in the United States? Because we are here in Europe. We have no snow at the New Year. That's a mess.
Yeah, the last couple of days, we got hit with some ice and some snow here. So, yeah, it got kind of ugly yesterday. I didn't leave the house, to be honest with you. It was the roads were pretty bad out there.
Yeah, great. That's the world of global warming, maybe. So let's start with the news. We have a bull run market of this month. So we have rising of Bitcoin price. What do you think? What are you thinking about the rising of Bitcoin price, man?
Yeah, the price ran up to like $9,200 USD last night, and we finally broke through that 9K barrier that seemed to be there for the better part of a week or something like that. We were kind of trying to fight through that. We broke through, and then I woke up here in the United States like an hour and a half ago, and we saw a 7.5% drop, $500 in 5 minutes is what I read. So I wasn't awake to watch it happen or anything, but. So a lot of people got liquidated on that, people that were going long, leveraging this market. So just on BitMEX, I read that $106 million worth of longs were liquidated. So that kind of that's why I'm a hodler. It's in my name, Pittsburgh HODLr. I'm not a big trader. I think that, in the short run, you can't really predict this market. It's like flipping a coin. So overall, you can look at a chart and you can see these things. You can see patterns develop over time. You're in a bull or bear market, but whether you want to do these short-term trades is up to you. But it's just not something I'm interested in.
So, do you have any ideas what are the reasons of several days bull run market of Bitcoin?
Why we ran up?
Sorry.
Why do we have
what are the reasons why?
Well, I think they people start to FOMO into the market, fear of missing out, and they take advantage of that. Like once sentiment becomes so bullish, people that hold a lot of Bitcoin decide to wreck the people going long or short, depending on which way people are feeling. But overall, my sentiment is that we're still in. This is probably healthy, little pullback, retest like where we're at right now, 8,600, and then hopefully we head back higher. I thought months ago we would be in 5 figures in January, and I was looking pretty good until I woke up today, so we'll see what happens. I'm still really bullish overall. I think this is a bull market. I think we're going to be in a bull market until the end of 2021. So we've got the Bitcoin halving only 113 days away now, and the Bitcoin hash rate, people that are out there validating blocks, competing for Bitcoin, is at an all-time high too. So hash rate normally is a precursor to price. So people over time can learn a lot from that. There's a lot of indicators in Bitcoin, but that's been one that has been pretty historically sound. That when the hash rate is high, price is going to go up.
Yeah, I've got the good analytics. I want to ask you, you mentioned hash rate. I want to ask you about halving. 2020 is the year of halving. So how do you think, what will be going to be the impacts of halving on the Bitcoin sphere and the Bitcoin price and whatever you think about it?
Historically, it has been pretty big. It's had a pretty big impact. And I think it will again this year. Here in a few months now. Like I said, we're 113 days away. I think that the price, we're going to see a pretty big run up after the halving again. I'm not making any predictions about exactly where we'll be before it, but I could easily see us breaking the former all-time high by the end of this year. I really believe that. My sort of long-term projection in the next 23 months before we head into 2022, like I could see us the end of 2021 being above $50,000 per Bitcoin. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. My price target has been like 65K to be, more exact. But that's just that's mere subjective speculation. It's my opinion. It's sort of what I believe. But yeah, I think the Bitcoin halving will definitely have a big impact. This will be the third one. We're going to go from 1,800 Bitcoin to 900 Bitcoin, new Bitcoin every single day. So that's definitely, cutting the supply in half each day, of new Bitcoin is going to be have a dramatic impact on the market, I think.
Let's remind our viewers about the blockchain project Renaissance book. As I know, you wrote the volume 1 in 2019. Yeah, I read it. And you were going to write a volume 2, correct?
Volume 2 is out now. They're both on my website. I just launched my own personal site over at Bryer, Bryer.
Yeah, the link right down below.
Yeah, Bryer.io and then /shop. So I launched a new site in the last month, and all of my featured articles, books, and the podcast are over there. One of our podcasts is on there right now, and I'm going to start putting all of our transatlantic podcasts on there as well. So it'll be another spot that people can check it out.
Yeah, great. So you are going to be a speaker here in Pittsburgh, in your city, in January. Tell some details about it.
Yeah, I got invited a few months ago. They convinced me to come speak in Pittsburgh at it's called Blockchain in the Burg. It's a meetup there. They've been doing it now for I think a year or something like that. So I'm going to go up there, actually it's downtown, and talk to those guys. Pretty excited about that. I've got a friend coming all the way from New Jersey. He's flying in. It'll be a good time. I'm going to talk about, the last 10 years, 11 years of Bitcoin, and where, what I see is important here. And, this is a revolution, in my opinion. We're in the digital epoch, and, Bitcoin is the money of the digital epoch. So I'm going to talk about, the future of sound money, hard money, and where I see Bitcoin going in this decade. So it should be a good time.
Great. I hope you will not speak about Bitcoin price, and you will be speaking more about sound money and Austrian economics, of course.
Right. Yeah, it's not a price lecture or speech. It's definitely going to be more about the fundamentals, interoperability. I'm interested in talking about how this is all going to come together. This is like the internet. I talk about compare blockchain to the internet, Bitcoin to the internet in 1990 or something like that. So everyone's just figuring out how to send an email now. As an analogy.
For all your United States viewers, American viewers, I will mention that the best think tank in Austrian economics, if you are interested in Austrian economics, is situated in Auburn, Alabama, the city of the United States. It's been established in 1982. It has 38 years old. It will be celebrating 30th year. That's the best think tank. Its website is Mises.org. If you're interested in Austrian economics, just visit Mises.org. Find their material, their lectures, books. Most of them are free. If you want to visit their courses or offline courses in Alabama. That's I don't want to use the word religious, but for all Austrians, it's like a religious place.
It is. It's a special place. Like you said, they make everything pretty much free on there, unless you want to get a hard copy. And then sometimes they'll even give you a hard copy if you go to a lecture or something like that of a book. But yeah, Lou Rockwell founded it, like you said, early 80s, I think. And it's crazy. It's like 38 years old or something like that now, or whatever it is. But yeah, the people over there, I've spent thousands of hours on the internet reading and watching their videos. They're some of the best benefactors that, for humankind.
Yeah. Today, 21st century is the unprecedented thing with time for education, for self-education. Most of resources giving you the best education, such as Austrian economics, are free. Mises.org, Mises Media YouTube channel. Google, YouTube, Facebook, just you wish for education and our podcast, and so much activity of clear open-minded people for education. They are sharing their ideas, so that's a great pleasure for self-education. So please use self-education, especially in crypto space. So my friend, I want to ask you about one more thing. Do you know anything about Web 3.0, the next generation of internet, different from Web 2.0 or Web 1.0 from the 90s? That's the next era, next epoch, next generation, and blockchain and Bitcoin are the part of Web 3.0. Do you know something about that?
Yeah, I think everything's going to be integrated here pretty soon. Like, I just saw the other day where Tesla is actually going to, I saw that there was a Tesla that was actually running a Bitcoin full node. So it's going to be like everything we touch is pretty much connected to the internet. Refrigerators, houses, cars. It's going to be like.
You're talking about Internet of Things that are part of F3.0.
Right. Right, you're going to be completely dialed into, the internet all the time. So it's going to be like you're in the Matrix or something like that. I don't know. It's going to be a weird world, but I talk about that in the first book a lot. Is that we're going to have this decision here to make whether we use like decentralization and try to remain free as human beings, or we go into these like centralized completely. These projects that are completely centralized, and like I don't want to be too plugged in, so I'd like to remain a little, as free as possible. But so just make the right decisions when you get into cryptocurrency. Don't go into the petro or anything like that in Venezuela. You don't want to get into anything like that. Just read a lot, like you said. Go to Mises.org, go to Bryer.io, go watch all of your content, educate yourself. This is, like you said, the time of self-education. We have all these resources available to us today. This is like the age of decentralized education. So just do your best to educate yourself in this decade. So
that's very, very great wishes. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is the era of unprecedented opportunities. So. But we need education. So Mises.org, Bryer, once again, say your link.
It's Bryer, BRYER.io.
Okay, so it's all written down below. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Watch our Transatlantic Crypto podcast. We will share with you our ideas, our thinking. Because if you have two men from different parts of our planet Earth, who are sharing the same ideas, who are crypto enthusiasts, who are also in economics fast, that means something very, very important. So stay tuned, stay crypto, watch our Transatlantic Crypto podcast, and see you in the next episode. Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.